Hi, I'm Tom Branken with CoachBranks.com. I appreciate everybody that's reached out to me in the last couple of weeks looking for new videos. Really enjoy doing these. It's a lot of fun sharing shotgun wing tee. Really believe in it. The number one thing guys have been asking for is, how do you pass out of it? What kind of passing game do you have? So that's what today's about. It's an overview. It's definitely not going to be a detailed, about the reads and why and everything else, but I'll give you some thoughts on why I do it and what my main stuff is. Now we can do other things too over the years, but these were the things that I really enjoyed doing. They were easy for the kids to learn, and they really protected plays that we already ran. So let me start with, I've kind of got three different ways of passing. Play action is the first one. That's my way of countering what the defense is doing. They want to put 8-9 guys in the box, or I want to get defenses that are flowing, or I want some type of counter to what we're doing through the pass game. Play action. Drop back, I put an asterisk by it because we're in shotgun. Those are more your traditional things. Pretty simple. We do a lot of time on 7-on-7 where we can work on that stuff. And in the summer, you work a lot more on that maybe than you do in your play action. Then RPO, literally have two. I know RPOs are in vogue, and everybody thinks everything they see on TV is an RPO, but to me, an RPO truly is something that happens after the snap based on what the defense is doing. So you won't see a lot of quick game, where the quarterback can call things. I just have never been able to do that. I called everything. We would get to the line of scrimmage in a formation. Every player has a wristband, and then we'd call it from there. So if I want to run any type of quick game that's in this drop, I call it my drop back. I'm going to call that from upstairs, not necessarily the kids, until we get to the two RPOs that I had. So again, this is the whole play sheet for me. Run game, some play action stuff in here, and then mostly drop back on this side is really easy for me to see, and it was organized. So let's get into what I have, and how I run it. I have a couple variations on things, so I'll try to show you what we might do. So waggle, everybody's bread and butter. Let's say I'm running this with strength to the right. My simple quarterback's going to be in shotgun. I like to have his heels at 5. My typical waggle is going to look like my F-buck. I really like running F-buck. We can talk about it some other time, but when I teach to the kids, I teach it that it's really easy to remember because waggle has a W for weak. 2 G's means the 2 guards are pulling weak. So we're going to block in here. We're going to wrap here. We're going to block area away. We're going to be personal protector. And then we're going to hinge here. The play action of it is the F. And I really like when he sits down, similar to what traditional waggle does. But what happens over here, we can never control this backer. If we were in our two-man formation with quarterback under center, as soon as this H would leave with this action, we were getting hard blitzes off the weak side edge. And my quarterback, as soon as he would reverse out, was getting smacked. I mean, I cringed every time I called it. We're in 3rd and 12, and you're calling waggle. When we were under center, it was a problem. So when we put him in gun and we were able to put the H out in space, it changed the game because now he had a responsibility. So early in the career, this was always a comeback when we were under center, so that we had somebody to get the ball too quick. Now I run it as a go. It's going to be a fade down the sideline, go, whatever you want to call it. But he's going to get an outside release, get a corner to turn his head. Mostly cover 3 is what I would see. So he's going to get a corner to turn his hips and head to the outside, run by him. Second part of this, the H is going to drive this guy inside. It's about 5-6 yards from the line of scrimmage. Now he's back a yard, so it's 6 or 7 yards maybe. But he's going to drive inside and whip it. More timing, because if he doesn't take it inside to get out, he's going to be to the sideline before my quarterback gets out. Because the action for the quarterback is to stick it in and reverse out, get some depth while he's looking at the field. Outside guy here is going to have a post, and the inside guy has got that over route. He's going to go under a backer, over a backer, aim for about 15 yards when he gets to the other side of the field. That's my waggle. It really was successful for us because it made this linebacker stay true. And a lot of times this guy was the guy that got lost. Now, if I'm in my formations, let's say I'm in jokers, where my Z is here and my Y is outside, then my Y has the post. So they just got to know the inside guy of these two, and these two are together most of the time. Inside guy's got the over route, outside guy's got the backside post. Now, if I can find a clip of it, I'll show it to you. And my thought right now is I'm going to maybe make a separate video of just video clips that I could talk through and show you some of this stuff in action, because I think this one will get long enough, and I'm trying to keep my videos down. The wrinkle to this, we have Waggle, and then we have Waggle Wheel. Waggle Wheel's been really successful for us against the good teams. All Waggle Wheel is you get all this flow going that way, and everybody's aware of our waggle. As soon as this quarterback reverses out, this F sits for a 1 count, and then he wheels out. It's incredible how much that's been open. I can think of 2 games in particular. Against the #1 team in the state, it worked for a touchdown. Now, when I run Waggle Wheel, I tend to like to flip the formation and go west. So my strength is here. My quarterback's rolling that way, and it's easier to throw back for a right-handed quarterback. So that's Waggle. Let's go to H bubble. Again, Waggle is, to protect your bucks and things if you get defenses overflowing. But truly a play, it could almost be an RPO, but I like calling it from upstairs, is H buck. And H buck, I'm going to go ahead. What we did a few years ago is if we're running buck, I had a hard time getting these guys out there because we're we're blocking most dangerous man here. Could be a crack block, could be a block on if he's being pressed. H has the bubble. We're gonna fake F buck here. We're gonna pull these 2 guys. It's just a catch and throw. He may not even stick it in the gut of the F. It's a catch and throw. So that's my H bubble. That also protects my buck sweep. I can think of one instance where that went for, I think, 70 yards on a play right after another team scored. It would have been a dominant team. So that's my way of protecting it. My H bubble protects my F buck. All right. Belly pass. Really like the flexibility of belly pass. I'm going to flip the formation. I'm going to go in west just to show you so you can see a little easier on the screen. If I go west, I got strong guard, strong tackle here. Let's say we're in clowns, actually. Clowns gives me 2 by 2, so my Y's out, my Z's in. I got my quick guard on this side now, quick tackle. My H is in space, and my X is my wide out. F is weak side. So, similar to belly keep pass, I need to get an arrow route. So, depending on the speed of the kids, this route changed over time for me. This protects my belly. So typically this is my belly, down block kick out, F leads through the hole for the backer here. It's a Q, ISO, and B gap. So that's my normal belly. So my belly pass, in order to look like that, we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to down block, wrap, and then the F is going to lead here to block this edge. He's still got his eyes on this back. If this back comes through the middle, then the F has him in the middle. But my idea on belly keep pass is we're going to do this. We're going to sprint out, roll out, depending on the speed of your quarterbacks. We're going to run a snag 10 back to 8 here. The idea is he wants to get inside to where the H started or just on the outside shoulder. The H is running the arrow to 5. Now, depending on where we're at on the field, sometimes this H might stem this in and go out to 5. But he knows his landmark is 5. I had a really quick kid one time. We had to put him on more of a whip route to get him to 5. Other times we might bring him in and get him tighter and throw it right to him. Beauty of this is it looks just like belly. The next part I like about it is we can do things like this. Still snag at 10, but we motion him across. Now, if there's a third player involved, whether it's by motion or if I were to say we're in clown's trips would put my Z here. So I'd have a trips on this side with the Z on the weak side. Whether he starts here or is in motion, if there's three guys involved in belly pass, the inside guy has the arrow. Number one's got the snag. Inside guy was what I would say. I wouldn't say 1, 2, 3 all the time. I'd say if we bring a third guy, he's got the arrow route. If you're the middle guy and of 3, you've got a wheel right on the tail of the X's in route, snag route. So really like the flexibility of that, because on here, on my play sheet, I literally just have belly pass. Belly, belly option, belly pass. Boom, boom, boom. So I could have a trips formation, I could have motion, I could have a 2x2 and still have belly pass. So backside, I'd always run a post. I like posts on the backside to occupy people. Something from upstairs, if we see it, we can go to it. Okay, then my last real play action pass I like I said, these are 4 plays that we can run anytime. Jet power read pass. Let's say, let's run it, let's go strength right, strong guard, strong tackle, Y, Z, quick guard, quick tackle, H, X. Now, in this one, I'm going to be in, say, East plus. Plus moves my F to the strong side. The play I love running is Jet Power Read. It's one of my favorites. And in Jet Power Read, we're going to get outside release. He's going to have number 1. We're going to be in motion here. All the flows going that way. Jet Power Read, really one of my favorite plays. Jet Power Read Pass is going to be somewhat of a scouting report. We may run this just to get an isolation back here for the X. It might be just stick it in the ground, 1, 2 step, and catch him on a slant, or it might be a backside post. And again, that might be something we decide during the week, or it might be something that at a timeout or at the quarter or the half, we talk to this kid and say, hey, when we run this, let's go back to slants, let's go to posts, let's stay skinny out, leverage them, whatever. Another one we liked was the sluggo, slant, and go to get vertical right away. So we could change and tag those. But again, here's the other part of it. We could tag how we wanted the front side. I'd say 90% of the time I was looking to isolate somebody on the back side because we were getting such a spin down with safeties and backers when we would put this guy in motion. We would get one-on-one back here a lot. But what you could do, similar to when we were running down pass and power pass under center, is you could block with the F here instead of him going all the way out to 1. Run a little out route here and run a corner here. And then this H after the play fake swings. Had some success with that. Basically, it's just a flood route. So you get people moving, you get a flood route. The issue is protection. If I'm going to run jet power read pass, in a perfect world, I block power. So I still had all my gaps set. So we had outside, block back, block back, block back, pull, insert in the hole, plus the fullback. I ended up with a 6-man protection. That's the perfect world, and all this run action gets you that. What happened sometimes was if we didn't feel confident enough in our ability to plug holes here, we would just base block everybody and let the action here take care of holding linebackers or getting linebackers to come up so we could throw behind it. So jet power read pass for me, I isolated that a lot. Really enjoyed when this, and this might be at 10 yards. That's a break at 10 for the corner, and then the swing behind it. Really like that play. So that was fun. So let me draw up some clear screen. I'll drop some more drop back stuff now. Okay, let's get to the next section. That's really my play action now. What I lost a little bit when I went under center was I lost down pass. But I thought jet power read pass kind of did the same thing if I run the flood route off of play action. So let's move to drop back. This isn't anything exciting for anyone. We had all hitches, at 6 back to 5. We had all curls, 11 or 12 back to 10. We had all verts. Now, if I'm in a formation where I've got tight end wing with my X and my H on the weak side, it might just be verts for those two and maybe release the Z. A lot of times I'd leave the Y in the block. Scissors, just means we're switching. At 10, I want you on the landmark of the other guy. That's pretty standard stuff. Illinois and Ohio. This is where it gets interesting. If I got Illinois and Ohio, let's say I'm attached YZ over here, and then I've got space H and X. If I call Illinois, those are 10-yard ins for the outside guys, and then the inside guys are blowing the top off. Okay, if I run Ohio, those are outs. So the outs at 10 for the inside guys, blow the top off on the outside guys. That was Ohio. Now, interestingly enough, if I want to go trips and stuff, let's say I go clowns trips. So I'm in clowns. I take the Z over because I call it trips. Now I got a trips here. If I were to run in Illinois, that means the two inside guys are both going because we got an in over here. If I run out of the trips Ohio, we got a 10-yard out. These two are blowing the top off. So flexibility based on formation. I like the concepts more than I do try to tell them exactly what everyone's got. They just got to know outside, inside. Mississippi's all slants. Now I can call Mississippi, and if I'm in trips over here, like I just drew up, I got Z, H, X, and the Y's over here by himself. If I call Mississippi, I'm probably looking for that guy. And that's a coaching point with the kids. Take a look at what you got. If I'm calling Mississippi, most likely I'm over here. On this side, we could run, three slants. I don't care. But most likely I'm looking over here to get away from all the garbage over there and too much confusion. Swing, I really like swing out of a zipper look that I had. I haven't done a video on that yet. But let's go west. So I got strong side over here. I got quick side over here. Got an H in space. I got an X here. And we're going to go, this is my standard west. My zipper play was my counter shovel pass. Think Matt Canada when he was at Pittsburgh. We're going to block this with the strong guard in the hole. He's going to come underneath looking for the ball. Quarterback's going to option off the end. We're going to block down here. It looks like zipper counter, but it's the shovel pass for the quarterback. He would normally be in pitch relationship as he attacks, so he can pitch inside or outside. I really like running swings off this. We put him in motion, and if a third didn't go with him, we'd just throw the swing pass. So, we might set this up, swing, motion him out, and still run zipper underneath. Enough so that teams had to really still stay inside, and they would give us some swings. So if I called F swing, it might be with a fox motion. So nothing too complicated. The last two are two plays I really liked. This was a real go-to when we needed 10 yards. Horn pass. So we would be in trips essentially. Strong side over here, quick side on this side. So let's say I got a quick guard, quick tackle. I go trips. And my Y be over here, Q here, F. Really nice formation to make defenses think, but he's attached. You're looking for this guy. So what you do is you're going to run him down the line of scrimmage right away. He's going to release 11 to 10. He's running a wheel behind it. This hole right here, I'll find some videos when I do the video of it. This hole right here for the H, 12 back to 10, a little comeback route or curl route was almost always open. Because this kid's going to hold backers. This kid's going to take any corner with them. Safety's got to pay attention to the deep. This kid puts the brakes on, sits down. Pretty quick happening route. That's horn. Really like that. And then Saints, the Chip Kelly concept. Everybody runs it. It's Y cross essentially. I just found that Chip Kelly, his explanations for it really were good for me when he was with the Oregon Ducks and even the Philadelphia Eagles. But everybody runs it. Saints to me is, let's say, H, X, F. F would start weak. Quarterback. Let's say Y, Z. Let's say they're attached. Okay, so my Saints concept, outside release up the sideline, bubble behind it, fake, and he's going to get in a swing or a wheel, and then we're going to run over the middle depending on where the safety is. So if I got a free safety middle of the field, the Y is crossing his face, backside post, because most likely I get a corner drop with him. Safety's here, he's crossing his face, I got this projection here. What I liked about Saints is I can call it anytime I don't know what they're going to do. If it's 3rd and 15, I don't know if they're going to be in cover 3, cover 2, man free. These kids could just read it. It's a pre-read. If we really think through the scouting report that we get a matchup, now I may, if teams aren't flipping their corners with our guys, I got to know as the offensive coordinator which guy I want to pick on this, because we might like the hole shot. I love the hole shots down the sidelines against cover 3. Really like it against cover 2. In high school, I just don't think they cover it well enough. So the read is just that. He can pre-read it there, or he's looking for this kid across the middle and backside post. The only change to this, if we saw 2 safeties, was this guy's job is to leverage and get just inside that safety, force this kid to make a choice. And then the outside number 1, he's going into a post curl mode. So he's making his post cut at 10, 2 steps, turn, and get his numbers at a quarterback. So that was just to change that. So like I said, I didn't know what they were going to be in. Easy read for my quarterback. If we saw cover 2 and he was going to give us the whole shot, we take it. If not, we really like to look here to here, and it's an easy read because it's in the same grouping. And then if you notice there's too many bodies, you can come back to that swing route. So that was Saints. Look up Chip Kelly's Saints pass on Google. That's how I learned it. Just a nice multi-concept that I really like. Obviously, the air raid guys love it too, Y cross. So now let's get into a true RPO. True RPO for me means something post-snap. My definition is I want to take care of a guy that I can't block in my run game. And typically I'm gonna run this out of trap. You know, my typical trap is going to be strong side. You know, my tackles are supposed to go to backers. I'm going to block back, kick out, right? Well, in our league, a lot of these guys, these tackles here are a problem. They're usually big kids. That strong tackle may not be able to get to the backer. If I couldn't control him, if I'm running strong side trap, I started switching and putting my F on the strong side, because then my quarterback can face this direction as he makes his handoff. If this backer starts cheating, so he's going to put back hip to front hip and kind of ride with them, the Z is replacing that. So, or if I kick the Z out of my formation, it'd be the Y. Okay, but typically the last year when I ran this, we ran a lot more of this. I had a freshman at wideout, and I had a really good senior here, a big strong kid. So we would run more jokers. So this would be jokers plus, and I would just call F trap. That strong side trap, he's going to replace the backer. Quick, easy reads, really just a little pop pass, at 5, 6, 7 yards, maybe 10, depending on how long this kid takes. Now, if I was being honest, did they read it all the time? Absolutely not. Sometimes quarterbacks just decide they were going to throw it. The nice thing, too, is I could run this if I like the angles better. I could run a weak trap, block back. Here's my trap. My quarterback's still handing off for this. It's a weak side A-gap, weak trap, but he's still got his eyes. If his eyes were on the Z, then his read was to throw the ball. If his eyes were on the weak side, like let's say I was running regular trap, regular strong side trap, going this direction, and he was looking here, then he was reading the end, and he could pull and run. So that was probably my favorite RPO out of trap. Now, this is my standard West. I love running buck out of it, and everybody knows it, so we're gonna pull. We're gonna block buck. We're gonna run this here. This is straight buck for me. This is, but we called it Trojan. When I was at Highland, we called it Trojans. When I was at Calumet, we called it Warriors. We never really got to it at East Chicago. The personnel changed too fast. But this was a true RPO. This quarterback can read this on the front side right away if he likes it or not. We're going to run, again, I love making corners because we saw so much corner cover 3. Love making corners turn their hips and eyes to the sideline. We're going to bubble behind it. So this looks like H bubble. This looks like F buck. But I gave my quarterback the ability to read it. He could read this. If we had numbers over here, we're just gouging them all day. Go ahead and, give it. He could keep it and run it. He could keep it and attack this side. And he's got 2-man go here. He's got the bubble and he's got the sideline route. This is the play that Auburn and Gus Malzahn ran against Alabama for a win in Iron Bowl several years ago. So based off a buck, quarterback can read. Kind of a fun play. One way we practice this was at the end of practice, we'd put 2 minutes on the clock, put the ball to the 2-yard line, and just tell them they're in West Trojans. And we'd have a secondary. Quarterback can practice his reads. We'd have a coach stand here, either crash or step out. But then we'd put a secondary out there and let him change defenses that would go fast, let the clock run. Just to try to speed up his progression. So, anyways, that's my basic pass game. From time to time, can you do other stuff? Yeah, we had a Kentucky post at one time. We had, a sprint flood. We had some screens. We really weren't really good at the screens. We had quick pass. We had now pass. We had spots, which was just a nice little flood. If we had spots, I think it was he turned, faced here. He turned, faced here. And then I think we swung the F out behind it. That was spots, because spots went to the strong side and S at a T. So that's all I got. Hopefully keep getting back to me with feedback. Let me know what you think. I'm not a complicated guy. I like things that protect my base runs. Need these, for when you get behind and you got to throw the ball. So that's, good 7-on-7 time in the summer when the kids are in shorts. You can work on all that stuff. But this is the bread and butter here. Trap became a good RPO. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look and have try to find some clips and maybe do another session, like a part 2 of the passing game where it's just me talking over some of my clips. So look forward to that. And again, if I'm getting a lot more people watching these videos, please, if you've got a locker or a storage cabinet full of old, I don't care if they're 10-year-old T-shirts that say Panthers camp from 2009. Let me know. I'll pay for the shipping to get it to me. We got plenty of kids in Northwest Indiana here that don't have enough clothes. It's winter. We had kids that were wearing the same shirts every day of practice, and I'm sure a lot of you are in the same situation. So if you have the opportunity to send me some of your old gear, T-shirts, sweatshirts, anything like that, let me know. I'm sure kids would get a kick out of having a shirt from somebody across the country or something. So it's my way of paying back. That's why I don't ask for anything for doing these videos. So if you've got any of that stuff, I don't care if it's 10 shirts, 20 shirts, let me know and I'll get them into the right hands of kids who really need it. So thanks again, CoachBranks.com. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, and keep the comments coming. Have a great day.